Hello, quilt artisans. My name is Shonda, and welcome to my channel, Under the Needle Quilting and Crafts. So I just got my Stripology Virtual Retreat box. It's a big box. It was a big box last year. If you see that box right there, that's last year's box. Sitting on top of it is an open gate box, but that right there is last year's box. So this box is a little different shape. It's not quite as long, but it's definitely taller. So I'm excited to see what's in here. So the Stripology Virtual Retreat is hosted by Gudrun Erla and her husband, Mr. HP, Mr. Honey Producer, Mr. HP for short. This is the third or fourth year. I know I've missed one. I missed so this would be the fourth year. The very first one I missed because it was the first year they did it, and it sold out so quickly that I didn't even get a chance. I believe I was on a cruise ship when it dropped. And I was like, I can't do this right now. And by the time I got home from the cruise, it was sold out. And then the following year, the following 2 years I did it. Now, last year, I believe was the first time I remember like it having like an overarching theme. And the theme was a cruise, right? And so we got things in the box that tied to the places that we were visiting, the ports of call, if you will. I know one of them was like up north, like Canada-ish or something, and one was like New Orleans. It was a good time. It was a good time. Last year's retreat was $439. We got 15 half yards of fabric and 3 1 yards of fabric. And we got a bunch of other little cute little stuff in here. And then, of course, we get 3 patterns. This year, of course, everything is more expensive. So this year it's $469 and we're only getting 12 half yards of fabric. So when you factor that in, it's about a $50 price increase from the year before, which is about 11%, which is probably about normal, unfortunately. So this year's trip is going to be, or this year's virtual retreat is going to be a train ride. It's all aboard. We're taking the train ride. So I have no idea what's going to be in here. But the way the retreat is set up, it's a 3-day event. It starts halfway through on day 1, and then you have a full day 2 and a full day 3 or something like that. I don't know. There'll be a schedule in here. There'll be an itinerary in here. Now, last year, some folks got upset with me for doing this unboxing because Gudrun asks that we do not post this on social media and to allow everyone to be surprised. But I'm not posting it on social media. There's not going to be any pictures in the thumbnail. I'm not posting it on any group, any Facebook group that I'm in, or I'm not putting it on my Facebook page. I'm not putting it on my Instagram. It's just on my YouTube channel. It says spoiler alert. It says what it is. And so if anybody does not want to watch it, if they want to be surprised, they can just not click on the video. I don't have some massive channel that I'm just going to come up. The only way you're going to see this video is if you're already familiar with me and you're subscribed to my channel, or if you were looking for it. And if you were looking for it, welcome. Forgive this shirt. I got this at QuiltCon. I love it. Ooh. It's packed. Packed. Something just fell. Okay. So this is just a little welcome card. Very nice. Here we have our booklet, and everything is in here. So we have recipes. So we get recipes. We get drink recipes, food recipes. Gudrun's vegan, so if I make the recipes, I normally add chicken because oh, actually, no, we're getting 3.5 yards of background and 2 1-yard cuts for our binding. We have some pictures in here of the quilts that we're going to be making. These, I don't think these quilts are a secret, because if you go to her YouTube page and if you watch her Tipsy Tuesdays and Happy Fridays, she shows you these quilts. So we will be making Billy and what's the other one? Winnie. Billy and Winnie are the two quilts that we will be making. So day one, so we're going to New York, Chicago, and San Francisco. One thing about it being a virtual retreat is that we are not tied by geography and logic. We can just do what we want. And I will say, you know, for the price, I feel like the price is pretty reasonable. I did do an in-person retreat. It was only 2 nights, which would this is 2 nights. And by the time I drove out to Wilmington, you know, paid for the hotel, paid for the retreat itself, you know, having to buy food, I spent more than this. So I feel like the price is reasonable. And I did not get fabric or snacks or anything else that's going to be in this box here. Yeah, so we kick off day one at, that would be 9 a.m. my time. Oh, and it's retro. So okay, I like this. So we're doing 1980s New York, 1920s Chicago, and 1960s San Francisco. Pretty neat. So day one is from, that would be 9 a.m. my time to 11 p.m. my time. We've got a recipe here for New York City hot dog, recipe for a Cosmo. I'll probably make the Cosmos. Day 2 is also a full day, and then day 3 is probably the half day. It's from 9 to 7, so not really a half day. I feel like we're together more this year. I don't know. Let's see what we got. So we have some snacks. And the snacks tend to be representative of the places that we are visiting, right? So I've got some shortbread cookies in here, some oyster crackers, New England original oyster crackers. We got a G-Eazy Chicago mix popcorn, and then we have the G-Eazy salted balls, malted balls. These things are delicious. These are so good. These things are so good. But these are our snacks. And these are our little things for what we're visiting. Oh, the thread is a nice bonus. And so we've got a little bonus thread here. We've got a little bonus friction pin. And then you can see we've got little bonus stuff here for the places that we're visiting. This is definitely going to be 1980s New York. Definitely. I had some, when we did retro 80s Halloween last year, for a Halloween party last year, I did 80s. Is that last year or year before last? Year before last, I think. I did 80s, and I had some gloves like this. We got some beads. We got a peace sign. That's definitely going to be 60s. We have a train whistle. These are definitely going to be 1980s. I have some of these because, again, I bought some of these for my 80s outfit when I dressed up for Halloween. I had a side pony and everything. Here's a little bonus notepad that sticks to your fridge. Magnetic. I like that the whole thing is magnetic. Normally it's just like a one magnet here at the top. A small magnet here. This whole thing is magnetic, so you don't have to worry about it going anywhere. I like that. Let's get all this back in here. Oh, Lord. Just flicking stuff everywhere. What's in here? G-Eazy Designs Iceland. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is or what this is for. I have no idea what this little ball is. It's metal. It's cold. Definitely metal. I'm not sure what that is. But I will find out after the treat, I'm sure. Okay. Now the fabric kit that I chose was the Modern Abstractions. So it does match my home, but that's really not why I picked it. I picked it because this was the first year where I wasn't like over the moon with the fabric selections. Normally every year there's like 2 or 3 and I'm like wringing my fingers trying to, twist, just wringing my hands. I mean, trying to figure out which one I want. But it was a little different this year. Now, if I had realized the Feed Sacks Good Works was as pretty as it was, I might have gone with that one. But I'm happy with this one. This will match my home. So the quilts that I make will be quilts that I can rotate and keep in my home. These will be quilts that I keep and I can rotate them out. So, and then this is the background and binding fabric. Now, this is extra that we did not get last year. Did I just buy this collection? Did I just buy this collection at QuiltCon? So it's not quite an 11% increase then because this is an extra fabric pack that we did not get in prior years. So whereas we did get and last year where we did get 15 half yards and we did get, I think it was 3 yards for the background and then 2 1-yard cuts for binding. We did not get this extra fabric pack. So, but I feel like I just bought this. Hold on. Let me see here. I have not put away my stuff from QuiltCon yet. It's just all stuffed in this bag. And I feel like the fact that it all fit in the bag meant that it was supposed to be there. You know what I mean? It's too far down deep in there. I can't get to it. I can't get to it. Oh, there I go. No, thank God. I got Songbook A New Page. Whew. 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 Make sure it's not this fabric either. No, definitely different. Definitely different. Sorry. I do need to get that stuff put up. I really do. But it's not happening. It's probably not going to happen until maybe February. No, I'm sorry. February's already over. We're already a quarter through March. Probably not until May, probably. May sounds good. May, July, I don't know. One day. It'll get put away one day. We also have some quilt labels, which I think is a nice touch. This is something that she started doing last year. So we have a quilt label for the 2 quilts that we're making. And this is going to be the 3rd project. So the 3rd project is usually smaller. The smaller project, like a table runner or something like that, clearly something smaller. So factoring in this fabric, it's still probably about 10%. I calculated 11.27% increase in price from last year. So, but I think I said 10%. So when you factor this in, it's probably like 9 or 10% increase in price. But I really like the idea of having a third, having this so that you're not making 3 things that are all the same pattern. Then we got a bag. This bag is huge. You see how big this is? How big? This is big. Is it supposed to fit your Stripology ruler? No. But how long is this? This bag is almost like 24 inches wide. This is huge. And then also in here, we have some G-Easy ruler stickers, which is why I say I'll never have to buy these because I get them free all the time and they are so reusable that, and I think I bought a pack. So I bought a pack when they came out. I was like, oh, this is neat. So I bought a pack and now I keep getting them for free. I'll never have to buy a pack again. I probably never needed to buy a pack. My bingo card is in here and my receipt from December 27th. So that's how long I've been waiting for this. So just to recap, I've got my bingo card down there. We play bingo every day. It's a good time. I've got this massive bag. I could have used that when I went to Aldi's yesterday. So I've got my main fabric, which is the Modern Abstractions, which I chose because it matched my house and it was the one. I wasn't like, there was nothing this year that I was like, I love that. I love that. I have to have that collection. That just didn't exist for me this year. But also I think that's probably a little bit because I have been trying not to buy a lot of fabric. And so I've really been just taking a step back. And so I just look at fabric in a different way. When I see fabric now, it's like, I know I already have something that looks just like that. Same colors, same palette. I don't need it. And so that's kind of how I've been looking at fabric lately so that I don't buy any. And so that might be part of why there was just nothing that I was like, I have to have that collection. Whereas last year it was Hibiscus Hummingbird and I was like, I wanted that collection before retreat. So when I saw that collection was part of retreat, it was like, well, but then there were like 2 other collections and I was like, which one? But I decided on that one. And then this is the fabric pack for our small project. This is a gorgeous coat. This is so pretty. And then we have all of our knickknacks and doodads for our various train stops. I still want to figure out what that orb is. Let's see if it's in here. Oh, we got homemade rice-a-roni. We got a Mai Tai recipe. And they tell you about each snack too, like where the snacks are coming from and why they chose them for that leg of the journey, so to speak. They tell you. For Chicago deep dish pizza, there's a recipe for that. There's a recipe for an old fashioned. I've only known one person in my life who ever drank an old fashioned. That's a friend of mine I used to work with. His name is PJ. I had never seen anybody in real life drink an old fashioned until him. And you would think, oh, he must be 60. No. I don't even think he's 40 yet. So this would have been before the pandemic. So he was like 33 years old ordering old fashions. I got weird friends. They've even got some historical facts here, which I think is kind of neat, about like what the average movie ticket was at the time, what the average home price was, what the average income was at the time. Well, this is a little disgusting. It says that in Chicago in 1922, the average income was $31,000 a year. And to think that 100 years later, there are people still making $31,000 a year. How? 100 years ago, and there are people that still make $31,000 a year. Except back then, the average home price was $6,000. What do you think the average home price is in Chicago today? Okay, well, if this booklet tells us what that orb is, I don't see it, and I don't want to waste you guys' time. We do have a 10% off coupon in here, which is neat. That's nice. That's nice if you're planning to order a little something, something. Um, I'm gonna have to put this away because these malted balls are calling me. They are calling my name. They are so good, and they're calling my name. Um, well, I've got less than 2 weeks, so retreat starts. Yeah, I've got less than 2 weeks, so it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I can wait, right? These shortbread cookies, and I love these are all my kind of snacks. These are all things that I just like to eat. Period. Well, not so much the oyster crackers. Like I don't sit around eating those. Actually, I don't think I've ever had an oyster cracker in my entire life. I mean, what do they taste like oysters? Why do they call it an oyster cracker? They're not shaped like oysters. I don't get it. Somebody help me out. Why are they called oyster crackers and what do they taste like? But pretzels, popcorn, shortbread cookies are some of my favorite cookies. I love me a good shortbread cookie. Um, Popcorn. Now, the popcorn is going to be, I'm probably going to be ADD with the popcorn because I don't mix sweet and salty popcorn. So I'm probably going to separate the caramel corn from the cheese popcorn and eat them separately because I'm a weirdo like that. I'm a weirdo like that. And so that's the retreat box. Again, they do a really good job. They do a really good job. It's just very complete. It's very well put together. It's very well organized. Everything is always on time. Um, I mean, it's virtual, so sometimes there are technical issues, but generally when there's a technical issue, it's the user and not them. Of course, sometimes internet is going to internet, and you can't help it if the internet gets a little, you know, I think there was one part last year where we were doing like a little we're doing like a little yoga session because we do yoga sessions. And we were doing a little yoga session, and I think the internet wasn't, the Wi-Fi wasn't super strong, so the picture was a little grainy, but then it cleared up, and just stuff like that, like just little stuff. But it's a good time. It's a good time. I've not regretted it. I've not regretted it, and this is something that I basically gifted to myself for the first time, 2 years ago because I'd never been to an in-person retreat, and at that time, we were still kind of COVID-ish. No, it would have been 2022. I think we were out of COVID by then. 2022, we were out of it. There was still some though. There was we were still a little COVID-ish. No, I take it. We were still. Um, yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. But so yeah, so I never really got to do in-person retreats, and I didn't really know anybody. I didn't know, and then like they get expensive. Like when I was looking at trying to do one. Having to fly somewhere or drive somewhere really far, and this is not something I'm really going to drag Adrian with me on because what is he going to do? I'm literally going to be away from him all day. He'd have to entertain himself, which I guess is a possibility, but then also, you double your expense because, well, not double your expense, but you've got more food costs and stuff like that. So I don't know. It just seemed like a way to experience quilting with others without having to break the bank and without having to fly. Because once you have to fly, then it's like I've got to drive to the airport or get a ride to the airport. Get a ride to the airport. If I drive to the airport, I got to pay to park my car. You got to pay for your flight. You got to, pay for your hotel. And then you got to pay for the retreat experience. You've got to schlep your machine with you, and you can't bring your big fancy machine because you don't want something happening to it in transit. So you got to bring your baby BS machine. And then if they have machines available, you got to get used to somebody else's machine, which can be a process also. There's a lot. So I kind of like the idea of being able to, it's kind of like having a staycation. right? That's what I liken it to. It's like having a staycation. I separate myself from the rest of my family. I tell them like to leave me alone and not to bother me, and then I just get these whole days. And then at the end of the day, I still get to, go sleep in my own bed. And I don't have to pay for food because there's food here. And I can always just get me some frozen meals. Well, I don't really eat frozen meals, but I can meal prep some stuff for myself. I don't know. It's just, to me, it's just a cost-effective way of doing a retreat, because when you factor in the cost of it, but minus out everything, because you're getting something tangible. Like usually when you pay for a retreat, you're paying for a place to stay, right? That's the majority of your cost, is you paying for a place to lay your head down. You're paying for the experience of it all and the travel, but there's nothing you can hold in your hands when you're done. So when I take the cost of this retreat and I subtract the physical value that I can actually hold in my hands, right? That 12-piece bundle is at least $79, right? That's generally what her 12-piece bundles in general go for, $79. So that's $79 just for that. That's coming off the price, because it's like you're getting fabric for that. And that's just that one bundle. Then you're getting the other little smaller bundle of fabric. It's probably something she sells for $20 on her website. And then you're getting the 3.5 yards of background. So what is that? It's solid. Is that a solid? I think it's a solid. Let's just say it's a solid. I'll dig it back out. But let's just say everything else is, since they're not prints, let's say they're a little cheaper at $10 a yard, which I don't know that they are. But let's say they're $10 a yard, and you get 5.5 yards. So times 5.5 yards, that's another $55. So we got 55 plus 20 plus 79 for the bundle. That's $155 just in fabric, tangible fabric. And then you are getting all these other little things, And I like that they change it up. Last year we got a little visor that said, "I'm a stripologist." We got these cute little, plastic wine glasses. And I like that they do different things. So we didn't get anything like that, quite like that this year, which is fine. Because I don't wear the hat. Right now the hat is actually on the floor over there because it fell. And the little wine glass, I couldn't tell you where it is right now. But I think this is a good value. It's a really good value. So when we subtract that from the 154 is what it came up to, minus the 469. So then now we're at $315 for 3 full days. And there's a lot of instruction. So Goodie does a lot of instruction when it comes to how to put the quilts together. It's like one project per day. So day 1, you work on one quilt. Day 2, you work on quilt number 2. Day 3, you work on the third project. And she gives you the instruction to how to make each block or each component of the quilt. She gives you tips and tricks. Then you go into breakout rooms, and she visits the breakout rooms and chats and talks with us and stuff like that. And then, we break for meals, and then we come back and we play games, and we have Q&A sessions where we get to ask her questions about, her career and how she did the things that she did, and, whatever we want to ask. It's a good time. Oh, I forgot the thread. I forgot the Orafill. So minus that 15 right there. So now we're at $300. I think it's a bargain. Is it expensive? Yes. Yes, it is. But it's a bargain. And it generally comes out in December. So if it's something that you guys want to do next year, just start saving your pennies now. They also do shop pay if you want to break your stuff up into payments. And I did. I broke mine into payments because it was like right around Christmas time when this comes out. It's like around Christmas time. And I had other things going on. And so I broke it up into 4 payments. No shame in that. So if there's something that interests you, and when it's over, I'll do a recap. I did that last year just to talk about my experience and how it was. But so far, you know, if it sounds like something that interests you, then check out the video that'll be coming out, I guess, in 2 weeks and some change after the retreat. I normally try to do the video right away because I'm extremely forgetful and I don't want to forget stuff. So I'll probably do the recap video the day after the retreat ends, and you can watch that video to see how it was and to, you know, get some like, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I can let you know what my experience was. And then if it sounds like something that you might want to do, you can just start saving now. And yeah, I don't know. I love it. 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 So that is it for me. And I'll see you guys next video.